Welcome back, CSE 103, M2, W1, W2, online for fall 2020. This is part 3 of our video editing exercise, and we're going to do another video with Patrick. This time we're going to use some animation. We're not going to use any video. We're going to create a video by just animating still images and throwing some audio in there. And I just finished up with my first Patrick technology one, and after this was done, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And if you ever need to go back to exports, you could come here. It looks like I did it twice because I got frustrated the first time. It wasn't working. Or I don't know which one is the right one here. But I did it 2 times. I think this might have been the second one that I did. You could click on it and see if it works.
This is Patrick!
And that's it. So if you need to share it, if whatever happened, it stopped or something, you got tired of waiting for that thing, you could always go here. So let me just show you this again. This was under exports, and apparently I have 2 here. So I guess I can delete this one. I can check it and delete it if I have 2. And I'll delete this one. So I have this one here. So if whatever reason you didn't get the link or anything like that, you can just go to your exports, double click here. And there it is, you could play it, but then you can also share it. So this is where you could share this. If it didn't share the first time, you could copy to clipboard and do that. If you had any problems, you can go to here. So it's under exports. That's where you should see that. And if you ever didn't get to exports, you just have to open it up and finish again. And I'll go through that again. So I'm gonna go back to my dashboard right now. And this was the first one. And we're gonna create a new video. So it should keep our same uploaded images in there. So I'm gonna go to video, and I'll do the same aspect of 16 by 9. And it has my same imported images, so we're going to use all those. And in this one, we're going to do some animation. We'll still do a little intro, but we're going to put a background in here. We'll use Bikini Bottom High School. Now, you could do the Bikini Bottom if you want to. You could try different things if you feel like you want to try different things. That's fine. I'm going to bring in Bikini Bottom High School. And when I bring it in, this is, when I move this along, this clip is about 5 seconds long. You could make this longer. I think we're going to make this like maybe 15 seconds or something. So you could even drag this a little bit, add a little bit. Don't make it too big. And just remember, these are seconds, so it's at 5 seconds. So I'm going to make it like 15 seconds for now. And I'll kind of go from there. So if I see the 15 seconds, that's what I want to see. And remember, it's 0:15, that's 15 seconds. So it's 15 seconds. And we'll kind of go from there. And if you need to go a little bit smaller, you can move to the left. And it's just one image on the background, one static image. And what I'm going to do is put an intro over that. So you remember how to do that? We're going to go to text. And remember, skip all the fun ones and just use the static one. And I'll just throw static text, and I'll put it right over top this time, and I'll double click on it, and you can see that's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go back here, and I'll just call it This is Patrick again, and I'll highlight it, and instead of Alpha Slab, I think there's one called Bangers that I like. That's kind of a neat font, and we can go a little bit bigger with that, and it'll preview. If it gets too big outside the box, you can make the text box bigger, or you could have on 2 lines like that. That looks okay, and you can even rotate a little, do something like that. A little more dynamic there. Now, before I save changes, I'm going to go to animation, and we'll just do kind of a fade in, fade out. And to do that, you could just click on fade, edit settings, and I'll leave it at 1 second to fade in, 1 second to fade out. It does that automatically. You can just hit save changes. Now, however long the clip you make, it's still going to fade in 1 second and fade out. So we'll leave it like that, and this is like 8 seconds. So I'm going to shorten this to like maybe 3 seconds. I don't think we need this long. And if you want to try it out, move your playhead, grab your playhead, move it over there, and hit this thing. And just see how long it takes. See if you like the fade in and fade out. If you want to throw in some audio, you can go to My Media and put in this is Patrick thing. And I'll put it down here on the audio. And I'll put it like right in the middle. And now I think you're going to hear this now because I have my audio on system audio.
This is Patrick!
So there it is, and it goes nice with the fade. So that's perfect. That's a nice start. So that's the first part. Now, one thing we didn't do yet, we didn't save this. So let's click up here, and we'll just call this 8 Patrick Animation. We should have done that first thing, but it's okay to do it now. And remember, if you ever have to save, just go here and do save. And now we have our intro, and we're going to we'll put the credits on the end just like the other one, but now we're going to do some animation. So we're going to bring Patrick in here. And what we're going to do is I'll make this a little bit smaller. We're basically going to kind of do 2 clips and make one be halfway and another be the halfway. So however long this is, we could kind of do it by eye, but I'm going to bring Patrick in. Now he's just a ping file. So he'll go over top of this, and he should be transparent, even though he doesn't look transparent there. He should be transparent. And I'm going to move him over here right after the text comes in. And that looks okay. And I can make it a little bit longer. Basically, I want to make it so that if we had 2 of these, they'd both be the same. So you could do the math, or you could just do it by eye. So we're going to have one that's about the same length here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to animate this image. It's one image here. There he is, and we're going to animate it. I'm going to double click on this thing. And here's the way our animation works. We just put it where we want it to start at, and we scale it where we want it to start. So actually, I'm going to end it first because he's going to end over here. This is where he's going to end. We'll kind of do that because it won't matter. It'll happen so fast. So that's where he's going to end. So that's why I'm doing the end first. Now if I go to start, now I'm going to make it small. I'm going to make him really small. And then I can grab him and move him over there. So he's going to start small and then end big. You got it? Start small, end big. And you can even look and see what size it is. Like it's 0.23 is how small he is. And this is 1. That's the size he is when he's larger. And you could even put the X and Y, or you could just get it close. It doesn't matter. What you're going to do now is you're going to save changes. And what's going to happen if you play this, he's going to move in. It's going to do something called a tween, where the computer is going to generate all those frames in between. So he's going to do that. And nothing's going to happen after that. So I'll double click on this just so you see what happened. He starts small and he ends big. So that's all we did. Cancel out it. Now we're going to copy this. So I'm just going to go here and do Control C if you're on Windows, or Command C on Mac. Copy it. And then I'm going to move my playhead like right here, and I'm going to paste it. Do Control V or Command V. Oh, I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Command V. You got to make sure that the playhead's in a place where it can paste it. And then I'm just going to move it like that. And like I said, we could kind of split the difference here a little bit. Doesn't matter that much. I want to just stretch that out. Now we're going to do this clip. Now this is the same, but we have to change it to make it the opposite. So I'm going to double click on this. Now there's no way to just flip it. I wish there was a way to just flip it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here first because we're going to flip him. Let's go on end. Let's go on end here, and then we're going to go here to this thing where we can transform it. Now this is going to wipe out our animation, so we're going to have to do our animation again. I don't know why, it just will. So we're going to go here and we're going to flip him. And you have to remove it. So I'm just going to flip it and then just hit yes, remove. And that's all you have to do. So now he's flipped the other way. So we could go back to animation. And now he's going to start here, right about there. That's where the start is. So we had to flip him first. We had to go here and flip him. Then we came back to animation. Now we still have to reanimate now. And that's fine where he's at. You can move him down a little bit. And then we go to end. And again, if you take it all the way down to like 0.23, that's where it was the last time. Then you could grab him here and move him to the end. You could even move him off screen. I could just leave him down here. That's fine. So now we have, he starts here and he ends here. Now this is the second clip. And we flipped him around too, so it looks like he's flipping around. And then make sure you save changes. And now what's going to happen, and I could go back to the beginning here. If you watch my preview,
This is Patrick.
And he's coming in. And he's going back. Now, after watching that, I think that takes too long. So you can shorten that. You could take this one and shorten it a little bit. And you could take this one and shorten it a little bit, about the same. You could kind of do it by eye. And then move them close together. And then shorten this thing. Just go in the end, hover over the edge, get the double arrow and bring it down. So just shorten it a little bit because we don't need these things very long. It doesn't look good when it takes too long. We like to see him move real quick. So when I play it, we want to see him move real quick. That's even a little too slow. I'd even make it shorter. I'd even probably go here, shorten this thing a little bit, and then shorten this one. Doesn't have to be long at all. And then shorten this again. I'm not even sure how many seconds. We got 3 seconds, and then it's going to like 10. So it's like 7 seconds the whole thing. So we could just do it like that, and no transitions or anything. We don't need any transitions, and that's all it should be. I'm at a little over 10 seconds right now, and that's probably fine as far as what we're doing. So now if I go back and I play it again, and I'm just looking at the animation, that's a little better. He's coming a little faster, and then he's flipping around and going back. And then what we could do is we could throw in the Patrick laugh. We could drag this down here and just kind of put it on the middle. So as he comes closer, it gets louder, then it goes out. And you could even do a fade in, fade out if you want. I didn't do it last time, but we could maybe go in here and do a little bit of a fade in, fade out and see how that works. I'll just click off it. So I'll go back to the beginning. I'll hit play over here.
This is Patrick!
Here he comes. You're hearing the laugh when he's close, and then it fades out as it goes away. That looks pretty good. And then the last thing you could do, if you want to put credits on there again, we can just go here and go to text, go to end credits. Just do like what you did last time. And if you want to save, go here and save. And remember to edit the credits. Just double click here. You don't need to do animation yet. We're going to go here and make sure you put in your name, whatever name you want to put in here. And I'll just do the same thing I did. And the actor's Patrick Star, and that's the only actor there. There's no SpongeBob in this one. So I can delete anything else. And if I want to make it yellow, if you want to make it pink like Patrick, you could do that. I'll do a pink color like Patrick. Maybe that'll look okay. And if this gets cut off, just drag it down a little bit. And if you need it a little bigger, you can make it bigger on the size here. A little bit bigger. And then before you save changes, you're going to go to animation. And remember, this is the one where we just go to start. And we move it down here. Just drag slowly to the bottom and leave go. And then go to end and just kind of drag up to the end. And just leave go. And then save changes. And this may be too long. I mean, our credits are longer than the whole movie, so you may want to shorten the credits a little bit. That won't affect the animation. And if you want to throw on audio again, go to My Media, and you could throw in the closing credits audio, and it'll be longer than the clip again. So you could go here and shorten it. And if you want to fade it out, just go to this little audio thing here, and just put like 2 to fade out. And just click off it. That's all you should have to do. And you're pretty much done. So I'm going to save it. And I'll preview it one more time. I'll go back to the beginning. I'll preview it here. I don't know if this resizes. Sometimes it doesn't resize much. And I'll preview it right here.
This is Patrick!
There he comes. There's the laugh. And it goes into the closing credits. Now you could do a transition. Last time I did the curtains transition. You could do something like that if you want. Rainbow. Here's a parasol. Throw that in there. Just throw it right in between those two things. See how that looks. I'll just play it right there. And there it is. Looks like the old Saturday morning cartoons I used to watch when I was little. And that's fine. And that's all you have to do. So then make sure you save it one more time. And then when you're done, you click Finish. And you could choose a thumbnail. It looks like it picked one already. That looks okay. You could choose this one if you want, because that has Patrick in it. And then you have to do export. And again, this could take, who knows how long this takes. We'll see. This one might go quick. Sometimes this takes long. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of time. It's only a 17-second video. But I think they just do this because you're the free plan, so that it takes a long time. And if you get tired of doing this, it says we'll send you an email when your video is ready. You could always go back to dashboard. You could always go back to exports. Like if you just got it done and you have something else to do and you don't want to sit around waiting for it, you can always log in again and go back to exports and get the link for it. So don't worry about sitting here forever. I'll wait here a little bit. I'll pause my video until it stops. Sometimes I go back to dashboard and then I go back to exports and I see what it's doing. And you can see it's not there yet, so it has to be there. You'll see it pop up when it's done. So it's not done yet. And now I can't watch the little thing. And if I go into my animation here, if I go into my project, I could go here and I could see there's my animation one. And it's still saying exports 1. So it's not finished yet. It's saying edits 2. Those are 2 movies. So it's still saying exports. So if I go here, it's still not showing up yet.
2 hours later.
Okay, I'm back and my export is now there. what was the secret? Well, I actually logged out and logged back in, and then it showed up. So maybe that's something you want to try if it takes a long time. Just log out, log back in. So now there's my export. Now when you select it and double click on it, you're going to see a preview here. You could play it, and you could even download it, I think. And also you can share it. That's what you want to do. You want to share this, copy this to your clipboard, and you want to go back to My Warren. And of course, you're going to be logged out of My Warren by the time this. You're going to go back to coursework, same exercise, and you're just going to add a second comment. And remember, you're still going to add a link, so don't just paste it. You're still going to add a link, and you're still going to paste your link. And the only thing I said, if you want to change this and just call it Patrick Animation or something like that, and then make sure you still make new window and hit OK and hit save. And then you'll have 2 links, and I'll be able to go look at your movies, and I'll be really impressed when I get to see your movie when you're done. So that's all you have to do for that exercise. When you're done with this, you close out of this, you could go back, and you could log out, you could go to your dashboard or whatever. But now I'm seeing my exports there. So like I said, I logged out, logged back in. That seemed to help. So that's all you have to do for this assignment. And again, it's just a little opportunity to work with video editing software a little bit, with some audio and with some images and a little bit of animation in there, and hopefully it wasn't too stressful for you. So that's exercise 8, movie clips using Patrick.